I like to view MLS and all its clubs as one big classroom. Maybe it's because I'm currently in college, but I see the set of 2023 MLS kits as one big assignment where each club had to do their homework and turn it in for a grade. And guess what? In this scenario, we're the teacher and one that gets to analyze, critique, and grade all 29 MLS clubs' kits. And like with any set of students and assignments, there's some who go above and beyond expectations, some who do that bare minimum, and others who just don't do the assignment at all. So for the 2023 MLS season, let's start grading some of these kits. I think the first step in this process is seeing who turned in their assignment. I mean, for a project this big and worth so many points towards that final grade, you'd expect every single club would get their new shirt done before the season starts. Well, for some reason that's not the case. That's where we start with CF Montreal, who have undergone so many rebrands over the past few years, they've kind of fallen behind on the kit design process. According to their excuse that they gave us, they were planning on their 2023 home kit using inscriptions of an indigenous language, but now they want to communicate with people from that indigenous community to make sure it fits with what they represent. I mean, that sounds like a great thing to do, but it sounds like something they should have communicated a long time ago, as they knew this due date was coming up. So I have no choice but to give Montreal an F on their 2023 kit. Moving up into teams that actually turned in a jersey, we're going to first look at shirts that are just plain not good. FC Cincinnati, the River kit. This shirt is supposed to represent the Ohio River, which runs right through Cincinnati, but the design is not it. It's a bit boring and a bit too bland. Meanwhile, that river design just looks dirty. I do love the small details of the bridge in the bottom corner and the Cincinnati script on the back neck, but that doesn't save this one. The next shirt that really let me down was St. Louis City's away kit. First off, I get that MLS probably wanted continuity between clubs having one Adidas construction from last year and one from the current construction, but the fact that this kit features an old Adidas logo and the old kit construction, it makes me a bit upset. Also, their reasoning behind the white-gray color is total bogus. I get that the stadium is gray and white, but that is a lazy connection as to why your shirt is the same color. For the first year, I was hoping they'd have a super unique away kit that featured some yellow and blue maybe, but we didn't get that. And now off to Toronto, where they've ditched the color that makes them Toronto. Keep in mind, this is not their away kit. No, it's their home kit. And instead of having that red base as they have had their whole existence, they've decided to go with this onyx and black hoop design on the body while saving the red for the sleeves. First off, I think it's a bit too busy for my liking on the body, and I have to take a lot of points off for not using more red. They're called the Reds, and their slogan just a few years ago was "They will see red." But now with an onyx home kit and a white away kit, I don't think anyone's seeing any red. The Vancouver Whitecaps have done an excellent job at creating their own look around the league. The single middle hoop always looked classy ever since they brought it back a few seasons ago. But this one misses the plot. I think the issue has to do with the extremely basic collar and shoulder details, along with the horizontal pinstripes across the body. I think the placement of those stripes messes up with the look of that middle hoop. Something about this just seems really off. And our final shirt in this category is LAFC. First off, I'll lead with a positive attitude. I love the use of just the LA for the club's crest. Alternative logos on the main shirt are a great thing, but for some reason, LAFC kits never hit for me. I love the main colors of their black and gold, but for their away shirts, they haven't found a consistent style or look. This is called the smokescreen kit, and I get that it's supposed to be the smoke from the supporters, but why is it so green? It's not a pleasant color to look at all, and I'm not thrilled with the design. I've seen some people call it the weed kit, and I think that's where I'll leave this one. For the next set of shirts, we're looking at clubs who stuck to the rubric, did what they had to do, and I like to call these types of kits hitting the basics or reading the requirements. First off, Atlanta. They've returned to what they were known for at first. They're called the Five Stripes, and that's what's on the kit. When I think of Atlanta, this is what I think of. I love the gold trim around the shirt, and the We Are Atlanta rubberized patch in the corner is a great touch. It may be simple, but I really enjoy this shirt. Another one that fits my expectations is Houston. Houston and orange, that's all I want, and I think they've made a really good shirt here while staying within their lines. The pattern throughout the kit features this pixelated hexagon that references the hexagon badge as well as the color Houston has worn throughout its existence. Supposedly, each shade of the orange represents a shade of orange they've used on their kits throughout the years, and I think that's a great way to tie it all together. Along those same lines, once again, we have Orlando City, who meet all the requirements of using the color they're known for and having a strong design. I love the purple that Orlando uses because it's so unique to this league. I think it stands out and works really well with the gold trim around the shirt. Bonus points as well for having the Adidas logo and the sponsor in gold as opposed to white. The main body pattern isn't anything too special, but it doesn't take away from the overall feel. For the Columbus Crew, it's nothing crazy special, but it's also a strong contender. Black and yellow is what the Crew is known for, and I'm happy they've returned to those colors. I think the yellow trim works great with the black, obviously, and I think the triangular geometric pattern fits in well. I also think that the full collection of the home shirt and the away shirt are a perfect combo because now they both tie in this geometric body pattern. If I could think of anything, it would be to have the Adidas logo and the sponsor yellow, but I mean, that's just nitpicking. Then we have Sporting Kansas City, who have stayed with their hoop theme they've been redeveloping over the past few seasons. For me, I think this hoop design is a lot better than the last one, and I think this looks like a classic SKC kit with the iconic sporting blue and dark indigo hoops. I also love the collar with the one button, and it helps that they're the only team in the league that gets this type of collar. The small details as well on the shirt rock, like the paint in the wall type on the inside collar representing their traditions, and the SKC Argyle on the back neck. And then we have Miami, who kind of stay really close to this typical design they have each season. It's a mostly black kit with a few pink accents. There's some very slight sublimated horizontal stripes with a wavy pattern on the body of the shirt, but that's about it. I think Miami's lucky because they have such a great color scheme of that pink and black, and I think it hides the fact that this is a lazy-ish design. But it all works well together, and their black and pink badge with the pink Adidas logo and the pink sponsor look great. I don't know how long I'll be enjoying these shirts if they all look the same each year, but for now, I'm happy with it. And for the final shirt in this category, I have the New England Revolution's Defiance kit. For me, there's something missing in this shirt. I like the fact that they're using the sash that we've seen before with this team, but it's nothing that jumps out to me. This is a shirt that isn't bad, but it's not that great. It's literally the most basic design I think you could get, and I will say that the fading and rotating of the sash is a nice idea, and the red really jumps off the white, but that's it. It's overall a really average shirt. And now this is probably where the bulk of the shirts this year are, which is a great thing, and I'm talking about clubs that submitted their work and went about it in a very creative way. These aren't necessarily all good designs, but there was thought put into them, which I have to give credit for. With so many years of MLS kits being mediocre, it's awesome to see so many teams put real thought into what their team is wearing. So we're first going to look at the Chicago Fire. I feel like this is the first time in a few years Chicago have put out a shirt that people actually seem to enjoy. I think the colors work really well in the shirt, and I'm glad this is the beginning to the end of the dark navy blue and muted red that we've seen since the club rebranded for the first time. As for the pattern, I don't know, it's a bit odd, a bit abstract, and I could really take it or leave it. I've tossed and turned about how much I like this shirt, but what I can say is that it's unexpected. I'm happy with the use of the centralized crest here, so that's a plus. And then New York City FC and their new Interborough kit. At first, I didn't really vibe with this shirt, but I think I'm slowly coming around. The main design features the NYCFC crest created with subway blocks, which is a great connection to its city. For me though, I'm teetering on that design being a little bit too much. The variety of sizes and shapes of each block, from the NYCFC insignia to the larger squares at the top of the kit, makes my eyes lose focus. Other than that, I love when NYCFC uses their orange to great effect, and I love the trim. It's not my favorite kit, but I can respect its originality. We'll stick in New York for the next shirt because it's the Red Bulls' new away kit that was developed by fashion designer Daniel Patrick. Like NYCFC, I wasn't a fan of this design at first, but as I've seen it more and more, I think I'm beginning to see their vision. I will say tie-dye shirts aren't for me, but for some reason it works here. What really stands out on this shirt for me though is the red. And the Red Bull logo, the badge, and the sleeve sponsors, I think it brings out that extra emphasis to the main colors of the team. I'm surprised with how well all these colors look together, especially on the collar and cuffs, but hey man, I think I dig this. Next up, let's talk about San Jose, because on the surface, their new home kit is pretty fresh. They've called it the Active Fault Kit, which makes sense because not only are they the earthquakes, but the design features this abstract pattern which resembles shifting tectonic plates. This is probably an A shirt for me, but there's one issue. Plagiarism, man. They copied another club's design, and in a year where every single team has their own totally unique look, I can't just let it slide. I'll still give it a good grade, but let it be known this will not stand in the future. For Colorado, they've done something super unique. They market this as the first kit made by an artist, and I think it works. These blue shards add an interesting aspect to the kit, and I think the accent colors of the yellow and red make them stand out even more. Along with the appearance of the kit, this shirt is meant to represent mental health and the ability for people to overcome mental struggles. In doing so, Colorado has partnered with Mental Health Colorado in order to raise awareness around the subject. With a great design, great details, and an even better cause, I think Colorado hit it out of the park. And now for a blast from the past, we're looking at FC Dallas, who have not strayed away from their past in the creation of the Burn Kit. In MLS, with so many teams hiding their old identities, I think it's great when a club leans into their past, even if it's as crazy as a fire-breathing horse. The concept of the shirt is awesome, and the best part is having that old logo on the back of the shirt. But is it bad to say I'm let down in the final product? I want more of that ugly green. I want more red. I just feel like there was so much potential to make this memorable. Instead, this one is going to kind of fade away for me. And now let's talk about the most controversial and surprising kit launch of the year. And I mean, what is this? I've had so many conflicting thoughts with this shirt when I saw it for the first time. So many patterns, so many obscure lines. Is it good? I don't know. I will say this is the product of having to use stripes as your main shirt design. When you rock stripes, you have to find out some way to spice it up each time so you aren't just remaking a kit over and over. For Austin, their way to spice it up was to go all out on every single kind of stripe that they could. I will say, I think it fits with Austin's culture. I think I'll eventually like it after seeing it for the next 2 years, so surprisingly, I think I rock with it. For the LA Galaxy, they went with this flag kit concept, one that many MLS clubs can't pull off. For this one though, I think the colors work really well together while bringing a funky yet cohesive vibe. It also works out nicely because LA rocked the red, yellow, and green color scheme before with some of their first kits in the league. Therefore, not only is this a modern design, but also has some nice nostalgia to it. Like with the home kit, the main design is on the cuffs and the collar, which is nice, especially when you're using such flamboyant colors as they have here. Also, as always, props to any team who can get their crest, sponsor, and Adidas logo in the same style. Going along with shirts it seems like everyone loves, we have Seattle's Bruce Lee kit. Again, on the creative scale, this is all the way up there. For Seattle, they've developed this theme of honoring Seattle legends in their past to away shirts, and a Bruce Lee kit is one I did not see coming. I think for the shirt itself, it's a really great idea. The hand-drawn abstract dragon is insanely detailed, and I really love the 2 tones of red they use as well, but it feels like way too much is going on for a football kit. I get that away kits are supposed to be more on that creative side, but if you showed me this jersey without me knowing, I would never say it was a shirt for the Sounders. On a shirt basis, it's amazing, but as a Sounders kit, I don't think it fits. I know, shoot me. For DC United, they've gone with a concept that people have been wanting for a long time. Cherry blossoms and DC. This is a perfect relationship to connect the club to the city without it feeling like too much. For me, I love a little pink in a shirt, and I do like how that light pink and the white go together. I really think it's a great design, other than the fact that I would have loved to see more of the cherry blossoms or a more prominent pink, because at least in these promotional shots, it seems barely noticeable. For Philadelphia, it's another super original and super interesting concept. The great thing about this kit too is that the Union Creative Collective, a group of Union supporters, helped create this kit. I really like the colors on this shirt, with a lot of this gold color and the iconic blue that's been pretty common over the last few Union shirts. Another aspect I really love is that snake being used as a primary crest. As for the actual design of the shirt, I'm not totally bought in. I'm not a big camo design fan, and this gives me that type of vibe. When looking closer, the pattern is better and kind of looks like clouds or a painting, but it still feels weird to me. And finally, our last kit featured as part of this creative bunch is maybe the most creative design we've seen this season, which is Minnesota's Northern Lights kit. I'll split this review in half, no pun intended. The top half of the shirt is awesome. I love the mixture of these colors, somewhat making a 3D type effect on the body. I really enjoy that they found colors that are new and work with Minnesota's true blue color. But now for the bottom half. I don't get it. Why stop the design? I think even if the shirt faded to black, it would have felt more complete, but this just feels unfinished. I don't want to rag on it too much because, again, they made a clear creative approach to it, but it's not done. They stopped. I would have probably loved this shirt, but now I kind of feel let down. And finally, we move into the last bracket of these kits, which are the assignments that are above and beyond my expectations. A+ shirts that I feel like are the best in the league. This one will probably surprise most, but I think St. Louis have made the perfect home kit for their inaugural season. The part I really love is that color. That city red is such a unique shade. I think it stands out, I think it pops, and I think it looks amazing with the darker blue and that yellow. I also love the half and half design with the accent shade of that city red. I think the sponsor fits, and I don't know what it is, but I've been in love with this shirt since I first saw it. I think it's the perfect shirt that doesn't put St. Louis in a box for their future kits, but also feels totally unique in this league. Another top shirt in my opinion is Real Salt Lake's Beehive Stay Kit. I know there's a few clubs that now utilize yellow shirts, but this yellow to me is so different from what other clubs have on offer. This gold shade not only paints RSL's kit as one of its own, but also references it back to the bright yellow kits that RSL wore a few times in the past. I think it all flows nicely, and I love the original blue and red on the collar and cuffs. I also think the sublimated diamond pattern across the body is classy. The extra details of the line and the state outline also add to the strengths. And yeah, this is a real strong look for Real Salt Lake. For another possibly controversial pick, I have Charlotte FC's new away kit. The color scheme is a bit out there, but it's what makes this shirt stand out so much. That deep purple is one we don't see often, and because of it, I think it's an amazing choice. The best part too is it works so well with the original Carolina blue, and I love how that is featured in the monochrome badge and sponsor. The shirt goes up another level with that accent pink that is a bit brighter, but also just fits seamlessly with that Carolina blue and the dark vibrant purple. I think the crowns throughout the shirt could be a bit tacky, but with a strong color scheme, this kit is already so high on that grading scale. People are calling it the Pop-Tart kit for many reasons, but this is one of the best of the season. The penultimate kit of the year has to be Nashville's Johnny Cash kit. I get that maybe people will say it's not creative enough, but this all black design has a real purpose, unlike we've seen before. Other clubs, especially around Europe, create all black kits for no true reason, but the Johnny Cash Man in Black connection to the Music City warrants an all black kit for Nashville SC. I think this shirt works so well because they didn't have to do too much. It's a very simple base, no special patterns, and it's just black in this grayish shade. I love the monochrome badge and logos, and I really love the thickness of the cuffs. On top of all that, the Johnny Cash print at the bottom of the shirt is so aesthetically pleasing. I don't want to rave too much, but this is the perfect kit for Nashville. And finally, we have the best kit of the 2023 MLS season in my humble opinion, and it's the Portland Timbers. First off, being the best shirt in MLS is a great feat, but what makes it better is the fact that Portland managed to do this while coming out with a new home kit. Typically, home kits are boring and are sometimes overshadowed by the more freely constructed away shirts, but not in this case. Portland have designed a shirt that not only meets the requirements of a Portland kit, but it also expands on the ideas and culture of their history. Of course, being a team focused on wood splitting and forest, it's only right to feature aspects of that into a kit. If you told me Portland were making a plaid pattern kit before I saw it, I would have said please no. But now seeing the shirt, it's arguably perfect. The woven textures don't stand out too much, but fit right into the shirt with the multi shades of green and white. Along with that, the gold accents make those green shades stand out even more. When you tie all these pieces together and the rubberized elements of the kit itself, you have yourself a creative yet traditional home shirt that is arguably the best in the league. Overall, Adidas and MLS have had bumps in the road up until now, but I do really think this year is the turning point. With this new Apple TV deal, I think the league is ready for their next step, both on the pitch and visually. This crop of 2023 MLS kits are hands down the best shirts we've ever seen. The joke used to be that every team wore white and black, but just look at the color palette we have from these 30 shirts this season. As a kit connoisseur, I couldn't be happier with what MLS has done this year, and hopefully for many more.